Hello friends, and welcome to another Pauper stream. Today we're returning to Affinity with a different list from what we were playing before. You might have guessed we're playing Disciple of the Vault, which is the reason to play black. It combos well with the Atog and with the Of One Mind, giving us an extra human along with Thraben Inspector to cast the sorcery for a single mana. Okay, easy mulligan, we have no lands. Another hand with no land, so we'll mulligan again. Okay, we can keep this. We'll get rid of... What do we get rid of here? Probably the Kitesail and one of the drums. Maybe Galvblast. Maybe I'm supposed to get rid of the Galvblast instead of the Kitesail. Well, that's all I can do until I draw something. Just a little bit of bad luck with our opening hand and our mulligans. Definitely didn't feel like going down to 4, but this hand doesn't cast anything. Oh, well, that's a thing. Hey there, Crown. Thanks for joining us. It's a pretty good draw there. We're actually able to cast both of our spells now. I know, right? I thought the same thing. That's kind of what made me excited to play the list. It's quite a few choices for this slot, but it makes the Of One Mind quite a bit stronger. It's going all right. I'm actually taking a bit of a vacation. I'm going to have the next week off. So, good news for me. How you doing, Crown? So I'm just considering if I want to crack the clue this turn, or if I want to cast another Thraben Inspector. Glad to hear it. Yes, I did hear about Uro. Pretty excited about that. I'm hoping that we'll also get a rules change to Modern, or rather just to Magic in general, so that Cascade doesn't work the same way with the modal cards. I mean, they already fixed Magic before with the Companion rules change, and that was actually like changing cards that were had, you know, like actual writing on them. So it's different when you're actually changing how a mechanic works. I think it would be pretty easy for them to affect this change, is what I mean to say. And it would really improve quality of life. Ooh, the Echoing Decay to kill both my Thraben Inspectors. Yep, that would be an easy fix. Okay, we do find the land here. That's important. And we find another land for next turn. So that's pretty cool. Sacrificing the clue, get a point of damage out of the Disciple there. Already Disciple's doing work. Yeah, I could definitely see why you would think that. A lot of the decisions that WotC has made recently have seemed to be directed at making money. I mean, it's a shame that they let a format wallow the way they do, like with Pauper with Fall from Favor. Anybody could see that Fall from Favor needed to immediately be banned, but they waited and waited and waited. So Myr Enforcer is going to cost us 2 mana. That should be fine. We'll tap the Disciple of the Vault. We don't intend on attacking into Faeries here, but that would actually take us off of red. So yeah, we're not going to want to use the Springleaf Drum. I guess we'll use probably the Vault and the Citadel. So they cannot Spell Stutter Sprite this, even though they have 3 Faeries on the board already. And I think we'll just pass here, and we can crack the clue EOT if we don't want to do anything else. Yeah, and a very similar thing happened with Oko as well. Okay, they're going to get rid of our Disciple of Vault here with their cast down. They fear the Disciple more than the Myr Enforcer. How about that? They might have Snuff out for the Enforcer. We're just going to have to let this happen, but this does give us an opportunity to Galvblast if we want to. Oh yeah, Gurmag would be a pretty good blocker for the Enforcer. Alright, let's get one more point out of the Disciple here by sacrificing the clue. And we got another land. So we're not stuck on mana anymore, but we don't really have anything else to do, do we? Okay, opponent's holding up a double blue here. That's good for counterspell. And they get a Brainstorm. No blocks, no surprise there. Another Galvanic Blast. We're going to have a hard time casting these red cards with no red mana. I want to attack with Myr Enforcer, which means we're not going to have red mana with the drum. Oh, alright. Cool, cool. Get into the Pioneer thing. Trying to remember if you told me what deck you were playing. Luris Burn, was that it? I think you might have mentioned it, maybe you mentioned it on someone else's stream. I think I remember hearing about it anyway. So we get a Disciple of the Vault. I don't think that's going to resolve. Pretty sure they're going to have Spell Stutter Sprite available here, and they'll just counter it. Okay, so they go get an island and play it. They have 3 cards in hand, but they're all a mystery to us. I expect at least one of them is a Spellstutter Sprite. Yeah, that's true too, Crown. Something that's difficult to deal with here. Wow, they go ahead and use a Snuff Out, dealing themselves 4, putting themselves to 8. That's exactly the amount of damage that Galvblast does, if we can resolve both of them. Don't really expect that to happen. We don't have any red mana, so our only play here is Disciple, and they counter this with Spellstutter Sprite and kill us in 2 swings. Okay, they're going to let the Disciple resolve, so we'll Galvblast EOT, I guess. Maybe they'll just like bring in 3 ninjas, say go. Okay, there's the Spellstutter Sprite, countering the Galvblast. So we don't have enough damage anymore to kill the opponent. And they have more than enough in the air to kill us. Really needed to find Atog here. But I'm sure that with the last 2 cards in hand, they have Counterspell for Atog, if we had it. So we can bring in 3 Pyroblast. I think... No, Krark-Clan Shaman says creatures without flying. So this would actually be a bad card in this matchup. We could bring in Dispel as well, as more counterspells for their counterspells. And I think the Kitesail is actually pretty bad as well. They have so many creatures with flying that this isn't really going to give our creatures evasion. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Fling either, but we have the backup to maybe get one to resolve, and that's one of our main ways of winning the game. Oh, that's a fine idea, Blind, but you're going to have to wait until the end of this match. Alright, so we got the play this time. Plenty of lands. We're missing a creature, or sorry, a human, but I think we can keep this and see if we can get a game. That's fair. Well, congrats on the 3-2. Don't mind going 3-2 myself. It means the next league is free, basically. Good question. What did Blind play? Okay, just a bunch of land right now. Oh, that's cool. Force Spikes are a wicked magic card. Let's bring in the Great Furnace here so they can see we have access to blue and red mana. So it makes it easy to see that we have access to counter magic. Maybe they'll try and play around that. Otherwise, we don't have anything we can do here. Myr Enforcer still costs too much at 4 mana. Okay, so they got a Augur Bolus. What does it see? Hydroblast. Okay, so they have a counter to a red spell. Alright, so let's see here. We can seat, and then we can either play a 4/4 or we can draw 2 cards. I'm thinking I'll play the 4/4. Although there's definitely, I should maybe have given some consideration to wanting to protect the Myr Enforcer with a Dispel. See, now they're playing the Swamp here, so they can just kill the Myr Enforcer during their turn, and I've left counter magic down. So that was my bad. It does mean we're going to be able to resolve the of 1 Mind, though, even though it is full price Divination. Oh, another Myr Enforcer. Well, maybe I'll play the 4/4 and back it up with Counterspell this time. Yeah, Monarch is a double-edged sword. You can really win or lose on a Monarch. Okay, so we get Pyroblast. That's a good one. I think we're going to of 1 Mind. Let's start with an attack with the Myr Enforcer. Put some pressure on the opponent here. We've got the biggest creature. Let's go on the offensive. Looks like they want to counterspell our Divination. I really would like to reload here. I'm seriously considering throwing a Dispel at this negate. And we get to keep up counter magic. Oh, that's great. I was a little bit worried there about tapping the mana and then not being able to protect the Myr Enforcer. Alright, is this Ninja? Yeah, this is Ninja. Alright, we're just going to let this happen. They're going to have access to Spellstutter Sprite for our Pyroblast. And we'll see if they tap out here. Okay, so they have the Snuff out. We're going to use the Dispel for that. Fortunately, they tapped off of Spellstutter Sprite, but they could have Dispel in return. Nope. We get to keep our creature. And with them tapped out, I'm going to Pyroblast the Ninja. Get it off the board. Nice. Okay, let's get rid of the ninja. And play Thraben Inspector. Oops, gotta tap one of those lands there. Okay, we got a lot of work done there while they were tapped out. And the Hydroblast was just waiting there to counter our Pyroblast to save their ninja. They couldn't do it. Alright, what do they get with the Augur? Preordain. Okay, they go ahead and cast that right away. Puts 2 cards on top, so they like what they saw. You're gonna keep them both. That's pretty scary. Okay, they're gonna pass the turn back. We drop Galvblast. All right. We're gonna attack with a Myr Enforcer. Probably draw a card with the Clue as well. Oh, the of one mind. I definitely want to cast that. Costs 1 mana. They can't spell Stutter Sprite. If they want to counterspell of one mind, then I guess, you know, they can negate it as well. They did that previously. Okay, they do have the counterspell. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to counter in return. But we can smack them with a Galvblast. Alright, now you're at 4. Go. So Fling is lethal, Galvblast is lethal. If we can get the Disciple, we could start sacrificing our stars. Okay, they hit us with a Ninja. They got a whole bunch of cards in hand, 4 cards in hand. All kinds of things to do. Ooh, there's that Disciple. Yep, I think you're right. They're probably going to counter the Disciple. Play the Chromatic Star first. It's a bit of a bait, but it looks like they're actually thinking about countering the Chromatic Star, and they do. So we get to keep the Disciple of the Bolt here. I think we probably just go ahead and add blue. Okay, we got an Atog. So I guess we win? No, because they have the Hydroblast. Damn. So they can just counter Atog. What a pain. Alright, let's throw it out there, see if we catch him sleeping. There's no way. Okay, so there's the Hydroblast we knew about. And we still got them under quite a bit of pressure. Even attacking with a ninja is dangerous. You think I should have attacked first? It's very possibly right. Okay, so they are going in for the attack. I could block with Thraben Inspector, but I like attacking with Thraben Inspector here. They only have one card in hand. I'm going to block. I'm not going to let them start getting ahead here. I'll sacrifice my Thraben Inspector so they stay at one card in hand. Oh, the Fling? I mean, they could be dead. Probably... The Fling is so hard to cast here, because if they have Spellstutter Sprite or Counterspell, casting Fling basically loses the game. But this is the opportunity to get them, because they only have one card in hand. So if they don't have Counterspell, we win. Okay, so they've played a lot of counterspells already. Hydroblast, one of the counterspells, and a negate. So they still got a ton of counter magic in their deck. Too scared. Two cards on the bottom. Okay. Oh, I should have attacked with a Disciple. They had to block Myr Enforcer, so that would have been a free point of damage. Which is pretty important when I'm playing Thraben Inspector here, and I'm about to do a point with the clue. Okay, so they're going for the Spellstutter Sprite. They're back down to one card in hand. And Spellstutter Sprite won't do it this time. Oh, they have the counterspell. Damn. And now we've sacrificed our 4/4, so we're probably going to lose. We bet it all on their last card not being counterspell, and it was counterspell. If we had attacked with Disciple that last turn, opponent would be at 1. But we could still get Galvanic Blast off the top. But, yeah, we don't have much of an opportunity here to do anything. We're going to need to draw something pretty nice right off the top. Okay, that's another Disciple. No blocks here. They're going to leave the Spellstutter Sprite back. Makes sense. They want to block the Disciple. And they're back up to 2 cards in hand. One card in hand left. What do they do? 1 on the top for the Fairy Seer. So their top card is pretty scary. Get another Disciple of the Vault here. So now sacrificing an artifact is lethal, but we have no way to sacrifice our artifacts. We could attack with Disciple, it would kill their Fairy Seer. That doesn't seem too great. Whereas if we keep both the Disciples, a Chromatic Star is lethal. Atog is lethal. Galvblast. Again, this is all assuming we can get one through a counterspell, but an opponent has attacked with Ninja several times now, and now they have 3 cards in hand, so undoubtedly they have access to some form of counter magic. Oh, just a land. That's brutal. Opponent has 5 cards in hand now. Oh, and that's an Echoing Decay for our Disciple. So our board is cleared up. We're not really threatening the opponent anymore. I'm really disappointed with myself about that decision on Fling. I should have just kept the 4/4 and kept the pressure up. We probably would have won the game that way. I would say this is a keep. Our mana's a little bit awkward, but we have the Prophetic Prism and Springleaf Drum to even it out. We can go Drum into Atog Inspector, so I think that's a pretty strong start. Opponent starts Forest into Nettle Sentinel. Speaking of strong starts, that's one. We do have the Galvblast as a potential answer to the Nettle Sentinel. Or we could play the Springleaf Drum. I kind of like killing the Nettle Sentinel. I'm assuming that we're playing against Stompy here. The other option is to play the Springleaf Drum, play the Atog next turn, and then hold up Galvblast in case opponent tries to Savage Swipe the Atog. Lots of different things that we could have done there. Nest Invader. Okay, so it is indeed the deck that we thought it was. So I think we're just going to go the Atog here. The other option is to wait on the Tog. I think Prism is better. We can draw a card this way. We're not putting our creature in harm's way. Ooh, Disciple's a nice draw. Disciple and Atog finally together. Oh, look at that. The attack with the Eldrazi spawn. They're sending a message. They're serious. Another Disciple. Nice. I think I want to play my Thraben Inspector this turn. Okay, so we played out just about everything. If we can get a turn with Double Disciple and Atog, that's 2 damage per artifact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 14. Straight to the dome. Gonna want a couple more artifacts in order to finish the game. But the excuse me, the Chromatic Star draws a card. Oh, and they're gonna Savage Swipe the Thraben Inspector? Okay, good thing we didn't put the Atog down. We just lose this dorky blocker. We're gonna take a bunch of damage. Hopefully we will survive to our turn. Okay, looks like they weren't going for lethal. Vault of Whispers, that's another artifact. Let's see here. Always yes. Always yes and always yield. Another Tog. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is 14, so we cannot kill. Okay, opponent concedes. The 2 Atogs are too much. I think the Krark-Clan Shaman is pretty good in this matchup. Opponent generally is going to be playing cards on the ground that creatures on the ground, and if we manage to get the Krark-Clan to go off at the right time, we could just wipe their board. It doesn't play very well with the Of One Mind, so we're going to want to keep the humans in the deck. You like the Dispel, so that hits a few things. It hits Vines of Vastwood, and it hits Hunger of the Howlpack. I don't think there's enough hits. What else would Dispel get for us? Leave No Trace isn't that hot either. It can take a bunch of Rancors off to the creatures, but they get them back. The Elephant Guide, it does hit. Actually, yeah, the Ichor Wellspring is quite nice with the Krark-Clan Shaman. I think I should probably keep it. I like the Kitesail in this. I'm going to take out one of the drums. I'm going to take out maybe one of the Disciples because they died at Krark-Clan Shaman. You think cut Fling and Atog? I think that's going to be our main way to win in this matchup. They're going to have a lot of blockers available, so between Disciple and Fling, like they can't counter a Fling. So this is the perfect opportunity to keep the spell, I think. We're playing against Stompy. This hand is fine, we'll keep. We cannot, unfortunately, play the Thraben Inspector right away, but we're going to want the opponent to deploy their hand so we can Krark-Clan them. Oh, well, that doesn't get Krark-Clan, does it? That's a flying creature. Yeah, that's a really good point, Crown. That's a really good point. I'll keep that in mind for next time. When I'm bringing in Shamans, I should be taking out the Atog because there's tension between those two cards. Thanks for pointing that out. Okay, here comes the Rancor, so they're going to be gaining a bunch of life with a Volt Scourge. Wow, they are really making this Krark-Clan Shaman look like garbage. Might as well attack. If they want to trade here, then at least we can get rid of one of their Volt Scourge, but it makes sense they don't block. They can just attack back and they have lifelink, so they regain the life, the 1 point that I do. And they only have one card left in hand, but if it's Vines of Vastwood, they get to keep their Scourge, and even if it's not, they get to keep the Rancor. Oh, this lifelink is killing me. With Krark-Clan Shaman and Disciple of the Vault, we could have sacrificed our board and killed the opponent, but gaining this life, how are we supposed to deal with that? Another Galvblast. Okay, so we should be able to kill their Volt Scourge. See here, always yes to Disciple, and then always yes and always yield. Okay. Oh, neat, because the Volt Scourge is an artifact, the Disciple's actually triggered there. We're going to play Krark-Clan Shaman, so if they try and suit up the Ledgewalker, we can kill it and the Quarian Ranger, and then we'll pass. Probably could have attacked with Thraben Inspector there. Oh, they're just going to put it onto the Volt Scourge. I guess we'll try and Galvblast that in response. If they have Vines of Vastwood, we're going to feel pretty foolish. They do. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get our butts kicked here. We're going to 2. Make that 1. And we just draw a land. Womp womp. And a Krark-Clan Shaman, that's not going to be much help. So we're dead here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just a quick count of the artifacts, that's just 12. So we have no way to kill the opponent, we're going to concede. Well, that's unfortunate. They got to see the Krark-Clan Shaman, and they just happened to get their Volt Scourges that game. I think that we are still going to keep the Krark-Clan Shamans. So we'll get rid of the Atog Fling, and we'll bring the Of One Mind and Disciple back in. Okay, I think this is a keep. The mana is a little bit awkward. That's, I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot with that. But actually this looks pretty decent. Okay, we're just going to be taking the damage here. And what's their follow-up? Another Volt Scourge. They're good with the Volt Scourges this time. Oh, what a pain. Don't think I should start with a Shaman? Yeah, that's fair. Don't let them know I have it. But it was my only turn 1 play. I just wanted to use my mana. Okay, unfortunately, we can only cast one of these spells. We only have one piece of mana fixing left here. Yeah, that's true too. Good point. And speaking of which, here is the swipe. So we're going to have to use the Krark-Clan Shaman here to kill their Nettle Sentinel. Oh, that's so painful to sacrifice 2 of our artifacts. And we'll block. We'll take 1. Okay. What do they have as a follow-up? Nothing this turn. Okay, I guess we'll just pass here. Double Disciple Atog, threatening board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 12 just from the artifacts. 14 with the Thraben Inspector. If we can find a Fling off the top, that should be GG. Another Disciple would be good. Chromatic Star would be excellent. Ah, but the Savage Swipe. They want to try and kill the Atog, huh? So we're going to have to sacrifice a bunch of artifacts to keep that from happening. Nice. Okay, Hunger of the Howlpack, that makes sense. So now they have a 4/4 lifelinker, but this leaves them open to an attack from the Tog, so I think this should be my game. One, two, three, four, 5 is 15. Just from the, no, that's not how that works. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 10, 11, and then another 10 from the Disciples, so this is lethal. Nice. So what do we got here? This hand is okay, we can keep. We're missing a non-human for the of one mind. But we have plays turn 1, 2, and 3. Crambo Gaming, hello. Looks like we're playing against a fairy deck again. Expect to face a lot of fairy decks if you want to play Magic. I've found that I've encountered far more fairies than I have Tron playing in leagues. I would say neither, Crambo. Definitely not common, and also not my idea, although it was one of the things that got my attention when I was looking at the list. That along with the Disciple of the Vault. I was excited to play those two cards. Yeah, that's very fair. Definitely more aggressive along traditional lines. So they're going to have Spellstutter Sprite here. Oh, what a pain. That can counter the Prophetic Prism. Play the Springleaf Drum to start, see if that gets the Spellstutter out of their hand. It does. So we get to keep the Prophetic Prism, and we'll play Disciple of the Vault. I think that Atog is definitely a big part of it, but the Disciples mean that you don't necessarily need the Fling. You can just have a pair of Disciples and Atog and win that way. Oh, no land? Okay, opponent is missing a land drop and they have no counter magic up. Thoughtcast. Well, I guess if we can divination for 1 mana, we should do it. And I think we just play the Prophetic Prism here as a backup. Okay, let's attack and pass. I saw another version of the Atog deck that is even more all-in on the Tog specifically. It was using just so many cantrip artifacts, and then, you know, like basically ways to scry and draw cards continuously. I think they even went as deep as Barbed Sextant. Is that right? Anyway, it was an interesting take on the deck. They had very few creatures or anything really to do early, so you felt like you could put a bunch of pressure on them. Yeah, it was basically eggs. But by the end of the game, the opponent sees so many cards. Okay, so they're tapped out here. So I'm thinking I'm gonna want to probably hit him with Galv Blast. Let's see what the top of the deck says. Oh, Atog Shift. Okay, cool. I do kind of want to of one mind. Alternatively, I could double Galv Blast, knock him down to 9. Okay. Well, we got Prophetic Prism and of one mind. Not all that hot. Let's Galv Blast the opponent's face. And then we'll attack with Thraben Inspector. It's a race. Race to the bottom. So fortunately, the opponent being stifled on lands here has given us a bit of an opportunity, but that's not going to last anymore. So they got their red mana here. They can scred one of our creatures. They're going to get rid of the Disciple of the Vault, so we no longer have access to that incremental, incidental damage. Okay, so they have 2 fairies on the board already, so of one mind can be countered by the Spellstutter Sprite. So we're going to lead out with Prophetic Prism and see if they take the bait. Okay, they allow that to resolve. I think we'll just play Chromatic Star. Let's attack with a Thraben Inspector here. And crack the clue. Yeah, the Faeries deck are quite the gatekeeper. If you don't have a decent match versus Faeries, then maybe you should think about a different deck. Oh, yeah, that would have been pretty good. You're right, Blind. Get rid of that ninja. Now they've got 2 ninjas coming in. We're at 5. We're just about dead. And they have access to counter magic. So if we get the Galv Blast to resolve, they're at 3. Disciple the Vault almost wins it from there. And then we also have the attack with Thraben Inspector. So we have lots of colored mana. We should be able to definitely do these 3 things, but can we of one mind as well? Well, we can use the Disciple maybe to tap to cast the of one mind. Okay, they're going to go ahead and snap down this Spellstutter Sprite. So we do not get the Disciple. We have Thraben Inspector to block a ninja, then we take 4. Go to 1. So we can double Galv Blast them. Let's look at what of one mind is going to draw us. Another Disciple. Okay, so I only have exactly enough mana left over for the double Galv Blast. And in order to do that, I have to tap a creature. Springleaf Drum isn't too hot here. It does mean I could double Galv Blast, but at that point I'm dead, right? I think I probably just play the Springleaf Drum and pass. No, I think I double Galv Blast and then hold up Thraben Inspector and just try and live it for a turn. Take 4. Pretty close, huh? Their missing land drop really helped us. I think it was on turn 3 they missed one. They probably just have Lightning Bolt here. There it is. So we'll bring in Dispel for sure. We can bring in some Pyroblasts. We could also bring in some Hydroblasts if we want. I'm going to take out Fling. Take out the Cliffhaven Kitesail. It's not really going to give our creatures evasion when all the opponent's creatures have flying. not a fan of this hand. This hand is okay. We'll keep this one. To one who knocks. Hello, hello. Oh, we gotta put a card back, right. Yeah, Affinity is a very strong choice in this format. Should probably put back either Disciple of the Vault or Thraben Inspector. Okay, start with Seat and Chromatic Star, and we pass. Probably just going to play the Wellspring next turn, get our artifact count up so we can get this Enforcer onto the battlefield. Okay, a whole lot of nothing from the opponent on turn 1. Another Myr Enforcer into our hand. That's where they're going to stay for a while anyway. Going to need to get another artifact. Okay, Prophetic Prism is another artifact. If we get another artifact land, our Myr Enforcers will be quite cheap. But currently they cost 3, which is too much. I think that an Ancient Den would be a pretty great draw. We could deploy the Thraben Inspector. Okay, well, they're not going to be able to counter anything this turn. So this is our chance. Let's see what we get. Vault of Whispers. Okay. So these cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These cost 2 apiece. And if I play the Prophetic Prism, they only cost 1. That's true, Crambo. Oh, Springleaf Drum, so I can just play everything, right? Just play out the hand, the whole hand. It's like magic. Just laying it all out there. Turn 3. This is pretty good. A pair of 4/4s before the opponent is able to scred them. They're going to be able to do a little bit of damage here. Oh, they have the Abrade. Okay, so that does get rid of one of our Enforcers, no questions asked. What a solid magic card. This was what, Jumpstart, I think? It was whatever it was a non-magic set. Downgraded a bunch of really powerful magic cards. Okay, so they can scred one of our dudes now, and they do. They have 4 cards left in hand. And they're casting a Preordain. Let's see if they top or bottom. Looks like they're a switch. They go for the split, bottom and top. Okay, so they're holding up Counterspell Magic here. I think we're probably going to crack the Chromatic Star. But let's start with an attack. Ooh, a Prophetic Prism, huh? I wouldn't mind deploying one of those. Okay, of one mind. That only costs a single mana. Let's go ahead and cast that too. Okay. We get another of one mind. Fantastic. Unfortunately, we do have to stop here. We only have access to a single mana now, but we do have Pyroblast up. Yep, they want to cycle Frantic Inventory. That's fine. Not too scared of Frantic Inventory until it starts drawing 3 cards. Ooh, that's a problem. That's going to kill all of my lands. All of my lands are going to die. We still have access to Springleaf Drum, but ooh, that's a bad one. We lose 3 lands this turn. Should have obviously floated the mana. Oh man, I can't even cast that for free? Okay, so we still have Pyroblast up because of the Myr Enforcer Springleaf Drum. And we're still putting up quite a bit of pressure because of our pair of 4/4s. They are going to be able to kill our Vault of Whispers, and they could even kill, I think, one of our Springleaf Drum. Oh, that was my bad. I hit a button a little bit too quick there. I should have absolutely put up a red mana. Don't have that opportunity anymore, but let's see if it matters or not. I guess we'll just attack with everything here. And potentially put them to 1. No, they have a Spell Stutter Sprite. And they block the Myr Enforcer. So they're just going to take 1, go to 5. Okay, we have nothing else we can do. We must pass. Monkey has done a ton of work here. And they've gotten rid of 3 Enforcers. So we've actually had all 4 Enforcers this game. Oh, so they're probably going to switch out Gorilla Shaman with a Ninja and then replay the Shaman? Yup. Gives them an opportunity to draw towards Skred or a Braid. They haven't found it yet. I think it'll be pretty hard to keep anything that isn't Skred here. chooses to shuffle and play the Gorilla Shaman. Okay, no scred. Onion Lotus, what's up? Welcome to Papa. Another Tog. We have too many Togs. Alright, so we have some choices here. I kind of like Pyroblast the Ninja. And we just attack with Myr Enforcer, they block with Gorilla Shaman. Unfortunately, we could have played the Tog. You're right. We could have tapped both of our creatures with the Springleaf Drums, and we could have played Tog. I think that would have been fine as well. I do like keeping the pressure up, though. So taking a turn off to play a Tog would mean they would get to keep both of their creatures on the board. And now, the way that we've run it, they are under pressure to get rid of our threats again or to put up chump blockers. Okay, so they do find the scred. We lose the final Myr Enforcer. And we get a Disciple of the Vault. Fortunately, the only mana we have is from Thraben Inspector, so if we play Disciple of the Vault, we can't attack. Just hope they don't have a Spell Stutter Sprite. Oh, of course they do. They always have it. I think that monkey's going to end up killing us. Sorry, ape. Yeah, they probably have it all. Another ninja? We just spent our resources killing ninja, now they have another one? And that puts Spellstutter Sprite back in hand. And with the Fairy Seer, they're able to counter 2 drops. So it looks like our opponent here has turned the corner, and they're going to be able to beat us on this one, I think. Well, let's Thoughtcast. Can't counter that with a Spellstutter Sprite, huh? Okay. Got our lands back. We got a land. Yeah, the grind is real on Arena. And you can take as much grind as you can handle. Could you imagine how much time people invest in Arena if they're going for top spots? If they want to be, you know, like whatever, top 1,000, top 100 standard players? You gotta just play constantly, right? Oops. Alright, so they're gonna have this Spellstutter Sprite for the Tog. Oh, what a hassle. I don't know that there's any way we can come back from this. Like, we were really close, but I don't see it at this point anymore. Yep. Not a huge fan of that mechanic where you have to crack packs to find the cards that you want. I mean, that's fun for drafting and whatever, but it's frustrating when I'm trying to put together a certain deck and I gotta spend all my wild cards to get it. I would much rather just have the rental services that we have available to us on, oh man, another Gorilla Shaman. We're gonna concede here. We're done. We only have one land here. Not too interested in keeping a one land hand, but we will keep this one. Guess we'll just get rid of Darksteel Citadel. And we're good to go. Opponent starts with a Terramorphic Expanse, so they're not going to give us any hints about what they're playing yet. We'll throw down a Disciple, and that should inform them quite quickly of what our plan is. Good plan to one who knocks. You'll find that the Boros decks, Boros Monarch, uses basic lands specifically for that reason. I don't know if we can get away with doing that personally. Okay, so we got all our colors. We'll attack with Disciple, play a Seat and a Prism. Too many lands. Okay, so opponent's going to be able to start doing stuff. It looks like they're a Faeries deck. But we could still be surprised. Opponent hasn't played anything yet, and I would have expected a Faeries deck to have played something. So the Myr Enforcer costs 3. I think maybe we wait till next turn to deploy the Enforcer. We could just be throwing it into a counterspell. Then again, they can't spell Stutter Sprite or Myr Enforcer. They don't have Snuff out ready. But I'd like to be able to put Of One Mind onto the stack for 1 mana. So I think I wait for 1 turn with the Myr Enforcer. I guess in that case I just play Disciple. Or I could just play Of One Mind this turn. They can't spell stutter it. I think Of One Mind this turn is probably my play. Okay, so they have something here. Okay, they're going for the counterspell. And it looks like they're actually using their mana this turn. They're going to play an Augur of Bolas, float a black mana. So they're probably looking at killing the Disciple of the Vault this turn. Oh, they whiff on the Augur of Bolas. Okay, so we replace our first Disciple with a second, and we have a Myr Enforcer. They use that cast down on our first Disciple, so maybe they'll regret it now that we have a 4/4 on the board. Or maybe they just have another spell ready to go. They have 3 cards and 3 mana. They're going to be able to, what is this? Behold the Multiverse or something? Don't remember exactly what it's called. Always yes and always yield to Disciple. Oh, they're going to go ahead and behold the multiverse. Interesting the way the foretell works on an instant. So you're able to foretell it on your turn and then cast it on the opponent's turn. Okay, Prophetic Prism. Don't mind casting that, actually. Although keeping up Fling would have also been interesting, being able to sacrifice the Myr Enforcer if they targeted it with a removal spell. Oh, it's a nice tunnel. So now they have Swamp, so they're able to pay life for Snuff Out. Okay. That's a big fish. Big fish has been deployed. Oh, another land. I need spells, deck. Lots and lots of spells. Spells off the top, please. Okay, so this is our chance to kill the Gurmag Angler. We can double block with Myr Enforcer, Thraben Inspector. Could also just block the Augur of Bolus. Take 5. They're not going to ninja the Angler. So yeah, I think that's pretty fine for us there. And no backup play, so we're even going to be able to attack now. Don't think I want to attack with Disciple. Maybe I do. If they want to trade a Spellstutter Sprite for a Disciple, that's fine. Oh, looks like we might just hit him for 6. Nice. So close here. Oh, I think you're right. So we might not have to play as heavily around Spellstutter Sprite. That's good news. Well, if you got a counterspell, this is the time for it. Okay, we just have to pass here. We could do 5 with the Myr Enforcer, put them to 1. But we're going to wait on that. We saw what happened last time when we sacrificed our Enforcer prematurely. It was not good. Okay, opponent only has 3 mana left open. And they're going to pass. Oh, we got another Fling, huh? Well, the second Fling isn't going to do too much. I don't think attacking is really a good plan here. It might actually be. We attack, they block the Myr Enforcer and the Disciple, we fling the Enforcer, and we lose if they have Counterspell. So they've already used 2 Counterspells. They could have like Negate. There's so many things they could have here that would just kill us. But if we wait, then they get to untap their mana. They have more access to more cards. Tricky situation to be sure. I'm not sure if we're supposed to go all in on the Fling and try and kill him, or if we're supposed to wait. Really, what is waiting going to do for us? Like, I think the opponent just has better cards on top. Yup, about what we expected. Oh my god, the Fling resolved. Okay, we won. The risk paid off. We're going to bring in Pyroblast and Dispel. What is the Vivon? Ah, I see, I see. So it's more of a Vivon. Not a fan. We do have the double Pyroblast, is pretty good. Enforcer's a good card, it's just so slow. We're gonna keep it. We'll play the Great Furnace, so if they have a turn 2 Ninja, we can kill it. Another Myr Enforcer. Okay, here comes the Fairy Seer. We have no blocks. Do they have the Ninja? No Ninja. Play a Disciple, hold up Pyroblast. Terramorphic, that's going to get them their Swamp. So they're going to have access to Snuff Out. Madamix, thank you for the follow, friend. Ooh, Atog. Okay. That's interesting. If we play the Tog, we have to take down Pyroblast, which I'm not a huge fan of. They could also just have Counterspell for the Tog. So many removal options for the Tog. I think it's dangerous to put it down right now. But getting that, being able to cast the of one Mind would be really nice. You're right. We trade the Atog for their Counterspell. Oh, and there's the Cast Down for the Disciple. So we've just lost all of our critters. On the upside, we've gotten rid of two of the opponent's really excellent cards out of their hand. Getting rid of Counterspell and Cast Down. We might be able to resolve an Enforcer next turn if we draw a land. Unfortunate. I mean, we don't know that for certain. We're assuming they have a Snuff Out in hand. We haven't actually seen it. I think we probably just Thoughtcast for 2. Hold up Pyroblast. Myr Enforcer. Ah, okay. Fair enough. No, we haven't seen it. We're just assuming they have one. Now I could play the Atog while they're tapped out, but that we wouldn't have Pyroblast protect it. I mean, Pyroblast isn't going to protect Atog anyway. Pyroblasts are designed to kill ninjas and counter spells. Oh. Oh my. So the Monarch is in play now. Yep, no attacks. Seems right. Galvanic Blast. So I could Galv Blast the Thorn, attack, kill the Fairy Seer. That is a good point, Blind. You're right. I should definitely be more careful with my threats. I think I Galv Blast the Thorn, play Myr Enforcer, and kill their board. So then I have 2 creatures on board, getting ready to take the Monarch unless they have double removal spell. And if I had access to a second red, I would absolutely have Pyroblasted that Fairy Seer so that I could have stolen the Monarch that turn. But opponent is able to keep the Monarch for 2 turns. Okay, so we're definitely going to go ahead and sacrifice an artifact here to keep our Tog healthy. So they're going to need 3 removal spells now. Ooh, this is good. This is good. We might be able to take the Monarch here. Disciple of the Vault. 1, 2, 3, 4. Myr Enforcer costs 3. Could Disciple into of One Mind. And we get to hold up Pyroblast. We should probably just attack first. But if we put the Disciple down, are we in a position to actually win? 1, 2, 3, 4 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So yeah, we're nowhere near winning here. Yeah, thanks, Blind. You're right. Next turn, maybe. This turn, no way. Oh, they have something. Nope. Nice. We are the Monarch. Oh, they're going to cast down the Myr Enforcer now. I think that's wise, Blind. The Monarch, like we were saying before, is a double-edged sword. Thank you, Crambo. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. So we cannot play either of the Enforcers here. We need 3 mana to do that, so we just have to pass. Holding up Pyroblast. I am taking a little bit too long with my turns here. Very true, Blind. In general, we're better off keeping information away from our opponents. In general, it is the better idea to play your spells in the second main, unless you're going to be able to win. Of course, once you understand the rule, there's going to be exceptions. Cast Brainstorm, cycles Ash Barrens, cast Brainstorm again. Okay, and they got an Augur here, so we can Pyroblast that. Keep their blocker off the board here, and just deal them a ton of damage, because they're tapped out. So I think we should be able to win. Yeah, they did. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5. Okay. Super dead. Thank you, the one who knocks. Good point. They could absolutely have snuff out here. Okay, nope. They'll just go ahead and concede to our wicked board. The Myr Enforcers would have picked it up on the next turn. This hand is fine. We'll keep. Okay, it looks like another Faeries deck to me. Is this the third Faeries deck, I think, that we're facing today? Play the Springleaf Drum. Next turn we can play Prophetic Prism, unless we draw a Ancient Den, and then we could play Thraben Inspector into Prophetic Prism. Although with the 2 mana sitting up like that, they probably have a Spellstutter Sprite ready to go. So maybe I'll just put down the Prism and call it there. Okay, opponent is just going to throw a Spellstutter Sprite onto the board. That's going to allow them to counter 2 mana spells with their next Sprite. Nope. Not going to have to worry about counter spells this time. But they do find the mountain, so they have access to Skred or Lightning Bolt. Blind doesn't like the Ford in the Skred decks. That's fair. Not a big fan of the come into play tap lands. Okay, so we get Tog. Tog would just die if we played it. We do have access to 2 mana here. We're not able to utilize it very well. We could put the Kitesail on the Thraben Inspector, so we can start blocking sprites. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sure how I could have drawn two, because I just played the Thraben Inspector this turn, so I only had access to 2 mana, so I could never play the Of One Mind, I don't think. Hey, it's all good, stream team. And I think we're just going to pass here. We'll hold the Thraben Inspector up as a blocker. We could play the Chromatic Star as well, but I would rather have the Inspector up as a potential blocker, which entices them to use the Scred on one of our worst creatures. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be a Ninja. Yeah, you're right. Could have blasted that fairy, and they wouldn't have access to Ninja this turn if I had done that. But looks like they missed on land, because otherwise they would want to hold up the Spell Stutter Sprite. So we're going to be able to Galvblast the Ninja this turn. One, two, three, four, five, six. Definitely Thoughtcast. Oh yeah, I'm going to blast that Ninja, no doubt. I want to Thoughtcast though, see what we get from that first. Okay, we do find land. We're going to hold up on the Atog for now, and we're going to Galvblast. I think we can also play the Chromatic Star. We wouldn't have enough mana to Tog and Fling this turn. We could have put the Tog down, but we wouldn't be able to Fling it. Oh man, did I really miss that? I thought that we had already... Because we had cast the Thoughtcast already? Okay. Oh, opponent tapped out. I think we have the win now. Because of opponent's tap out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is 16 plus 1, so it's not quite dead yet. It doesn't look like we quite have lethal. Does that change anything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is 18 plus 1, 19. Put them to 1. Ah, we counted the blast. Okay. So yeah, we can put them to 1. And that's not enough. We could sacrifice the Chromatic Star and see what we draw. Oh, yes! Now we win. That's how you do it. You just draw the perfect card every time off the top. Nice. Okay, we got pretty lucky there. If we're playing against Faeries, we're going to want Dispel and Hydroblast. Or sorry, Pyroblast. Not a huge fan of Hydroblast against the red deck. Then again, it does kill Gorilla Shaman. That's a lot of cards to take out. I think we want to take out the Fling. We can't really expect our opponent to tap out, and Fling is one of our worst cards if it gets countered. We'll kind of lean into the Disciple and the Atog. Can take out the equipment. Opponent's gonna have a lot of flyers. So we got 4 cards left to take out. Take out Wellspring. Maybe a Thraben Inspector. And maybe a Drum. Well, it looks like we still need to take one more card out. No lands, must mull. Well, we got a land, but this hand does not look good. So we have to put 2 cards back. Probably put back Dispel and one of the Prisms. Well, now that we got the second Hydroblast, I kind of want to switch it for the Dispel. Oh well. Oh no. Shenanigans. They get to kill a land every turn? We're just dead. Wow, that's brutal. Shenanigans. Okay, we'll keep this. Okay, that's an okay. Starting with a mountain and going for an island. Oh, we get the relic. That was a one of. Oh, no kidding. Oh, that's kind of cool, blind. Yeah, that's right. You want to use your shenanigans now, you're going to use it once. And that's it. Would still be a good card to play. Okay, we get a Prophetic Prism. Yeah, that's true. That's true, blind. Because yeah, we put the trigger on the stack, it doesn't do anything. So yeah, just kill the relic first. So maybe we were supposed to keep the relic in hand so that we could throw it down. Oh, but we got to keep the graveyard clear. Difficult decisions. So let's see here. We have Prophetic Prism, kind of like that. And then if we only attack with one creature, we can hold up Hydroblast. Come on, land. Nice. Okay, and opponent's only play is to cycle their Frantic Inventory. We should have actually used the Relic there so they wouldn't be able to respawn to our Relic activation by casting another Frantic Inventory. So we are a little bit slow. We should have put a stop on our end step there and used the Relic. We'll use it now. Oh, they're going to Scred the Disciple of the Vault. So we could Hydroblast in response. We get to keep our creature that way. It is a fairly important creature. And we'll still be able to get their Frantic Inventory on our turn. Welcome back, Crown. Made it back for the tail end of the league here. I know, right? It's just all Faeries all the time. This is the final game of the league, too. Yeah, totally right. It's you see a ton of Faeries because it's way more interesting to play than Tron, and other than Tron, it's the best deck in the format. Thoughtcast. Don't mind if I do. We're not going to want to attack with Disciple, so we'll use that to Thoughtcast. See if we draw something. Oh, okay. I mean, that is stuff. We could also Of One Mind, draw 2 more cards. I'm going to want to keep the Galv Blast for potential Ninja or some such. Those Faeries mirrors can be real tricky. Yeah, take 1. And we're done with our turn. Okay, so there's the shenanigans on the Relic. So our lands are not safe. And we don't have the mana to crack it, so we don't even get to draw the extra card. We do get to do a point of damage to the opponent, though. That's nice. Thank you, Disciple. And let's see here. I guess we don't have any way to counter it. So we're going to be losing our lands. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, does it? Drum, Prism, they're basically the same. I also wouldn't mind cracking this clue at this point. And we could also crack the Chromatic Star. We get 2 points out of it. Alright, always yes. We'll yield to that one. Always yes and always yield. So that'll save us a little bit of time. Another Thraben Inspector. Don't mind if I do. Crack a clue, 2 more damage, draw a card. Those disciples are doing work. And we'll attack for 1 more. And at this point we're out of resources, we have nothing more to do. So we can feel safe in hitting the 6. Oh, that's unfortunate. They even let us get all those triggers off of it, and now they're killing the disciple. Well, that does slow us down a little bit. The disciples were doing some serious work there. Between the Chromatic Star and the clue, that was already 4 life. Okay, so they're just holding up all their mana. Let's see if they'll blink. Springleaf Drum. No blink. Okay. I think we just of one mind. Nice. I think we'll keep the Atog in hand, and we'll hold up Galvblast or Dispel. We have the Springleaf Drum with the Disciple here, so we have access to blue or red mana if we desire it. And if they don't do something that we want to respond to, then we can crack a clue. Draw a card, do a point. 1 point here, 1 point there. Before we know it, opponent is dead. Oh no, they're going to go ahead and use the Disciple now. So we can dispel the Scred. But if they have a Spell Stutter Sprite, they get to they get everything. I'm kind of thinking about actually just cracking the clue here. Another Tog. Okay, so that's 2 Disciples of the Vault dead. We only have 2 more left in the deck. But they did a lot of work. I think one of them did 3, the other one 2. And there's that Spell Stutter Sprite. They're just going to throw that right onto the board. That is going to make further Spell Stutter Sprites more effective. And it's also pretty good if they have Ninja. They would be able to Ninja the Spell Stutter Sprite back to their hand and counter subsequent spells. 1 top, 1 bottom with the Preordain, and they find a land. And they're just going to pass here, hold up Spell Stutter Sprite for 3. Oh, we find another Disciple. start with Atog. They're going to counter this. This is bait. Oh, yeah, because I'm dumb. That's why. Obviously, I'm supposed to attack first. Thanks, Blind. Okay, so they're going to kill one of my Thraben Inspectors. We will kill their Spell Stutter Sprite. Cool. Okay, there's the other Spell Stutter Sprite. Unfortunate. We knew it was there, though. Yeah, play the other Atog first to bait the counter. That's a good point. Because the Galv Blast isn't actually going to stop Spell Stutter Sprite from countering the Disciple, and we would have really liked to have had a Disciple here. Alright, 2 Togs, ready to kill ya. Blind does have a point. If they let one Tog resolve, the second one is nothing else. The Disciple there was the real threat. Yeah, and these small edges can make all the difference. We're still in a good position. Another Galv Blast off the top? Okay, that's pretty strong. I guess we just attack first. We just attack. Do we even bother attacking with Thraben Inspector? I think we leave the Thraben Inspector back for mana with the Springleaf Drum. Always keep Spell Stutter Sprite in mind. Yep. Oh, only one block. I think that's a good line, Crown. Play the second Atog, leave the Disciple in hand, and then play it on a later turn. Okay, opponent is forced to do something, and they concede. Nice. Okay. We got our play points back, and we got a treasure chest. Very interesting deck to navigate. Thank you, Crown. Okay, so this is the deck that we played today. Very interesting take on the classic Atog Fling Affinity type lists. Nice. Got the GG emote. Let's go. So anyways, the main reason that I wanted to try this deck was the Disciple of the Vault, and I found the Disciple to be Every bit as powerful as I hoped it would be. Oh wow, thanks Blind. I'd be very interested to know what they thought. So yeah, I love the Disciple in this deck. We didn't really get a chance to use the Cliffhaven Kitesail. I think that could have been pretty interesting, but I'm not sure that it's better than just another 2 Ichor Wellspring. It does work very nicely with Myr Enforcer and Atog. We just never got to see it shine this league.